How did the British royally screw up Muslim enterprise in India? How did Waqf make matters worse for Muslim entrepreneurs? And why did Khojas and Memons do better at modern industry compared to other Muslims? Namaskar. My name is Ajay Sharma. Welcome to a new episode of the Kafirnama. In our earlier episode, we discussed how Islamic inheritance laws led to serious wealth fragmentation for Muslim entrepreneurs and put them at a disadvantage versus non-Muslim entrepreneurs. Now, where did the British come into this picture? The British did what no other Muslim ruler in India could ever manage to do. From Gauri to Tughlaq to Akbar to even Aurangzeb. In less than 100 years, between 1772 and 1850, the British implemented a common Muslim law applicable to all Muslims in all the lands they governed, which by 1850 covered most parts of India. The common Muslim law that the British implemented was in essence Sharia laws extracted from Arabic texts on Islamic jurisprudence. Imagine a British judge using Sharia laws in a British court, even at the district level. Now, this was not the way justice was administered in India before the British came in, even by Muslim rulers. Why is that? Muslims in India came from diverse origins. Some were immigrants, while most of them were converts from Hinduism, who carried forward their caste and community practices on inheritance and other family matters. Hence, even the mighty Mughals did not implement a single set of Sharia laws for all Muslims, given the diverse origins. Aurangzeb did come close by compiling a book on Islamic law called the Fatwa-e-Alamgiri or the Fatwa-e-Hind that followed the Hanafi tradition. But even he could never get around to implementing it. Let me share 3 examples how deeply embedded the Indian justice system was in local customs and practices. Kamaruddin, a Muslim gentleman who lived in Udan near Mumbai, referred to Shafi'ite legal texts that were used to draft his inheritance deed as Shastras, a Sanskrit word. The inheritance deed of a Muslim woman from Bengal started with an invocation to Ma Durga. Custodians of Waqf deeds from Madras were usually called as Dharmakarta and not as Mutawli, that is the appropriate word in Arabic. Please note, these examples are from the late 19th or the early 20th century, by which time most parts of India had already shifted to the British judicial system. Now you can well imagine how Indian the judicial system was before the British came in. The British introduced 2 common civil laws, one that applied to all Muslims and one that applied to all Hindus, that also included Jains and Sikhs. Now it may have suited the British to implement common laws that could be easily and uniformly administered by any judge sitting in any part of India. But it had one serious unintended consequence, and a very negative one for Muslim entrepreneurs: the strict implementation of Islamic inheritance laws to all Muslims. As Gregory Kozlowski, a noted scholar on the subject, puts it, the British came to India loaded with conceptual baggage about the nature of both property and religion. They also established courts which enforced those notions. The British applied Islamic law Sharia and especially the Islamic rules of inheritance with greater rigor than Muslim judges. And what was the resultant impact? It led to frequent wealth fragmentation among Muslims. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan described the situation in rather alarming words. The condition of Muslims is deteriorating, and descendants of families which were very rich have become extremely poor. Their properties and estates were being sold after being divided into small fragments. To understand the comparative impact on Muslim entrepreneurs, we need to factor one other important point in the discussion. Hindus also had significant diversity in religious practices across different castes, communities and regions. But there was substantial commonality on inheritance laws in all Hindu texts. So even when the British tied all Hindus down to a common Hindu law, it did not matter much. Hindu and Jain entrepreneurs continue to operate in much the same way as they had done for the last 2500 years and more. Coming back to our discussion on the impact of British Muslim law, what did Muslims attempt to do when faced with constant wealth fragmentation? The Muslims chose to transfer their assets to a family Waqf because the Waqf was exempt from inheritance laws under Sharia. But in doing so, the Muslims were only jumping from the frying pan into the fire. Why so? Watch our next episode in this series. If you like this episode, please do like and share it with your friends. Also subscribe to the Kafinama to get regular updates on new episodes and new series that we plan to launch. Jai Bharat.